Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. A lot of people have been hating on the game without even playing it, mostly because people are butthurt that it's not a legit Animal Crossing game. But the game has to at least have some redeeming qualities, right? Right? Let's start off with the positives. Amiibo Festival has a really great... I know. The gameplay is just, this mode is really, You know, let's take this review one mode at a time. The main mode of the game is the Animal Crossing board game. Each player plays as their amiibo and moves around the village game board. The object of the game is to have the most happy points by the end of the month, and landing on spaces results in humorous Animal Crossing themed events to take place. It's easy to compare this to Mario Party since it's a virtual board game, but there is one painfully glaring difference. Mario Party is an enjoyable combination of luck of the dice and skill of the player. The skill comes from the minigames and the ability to affect other players, such as stealing stars. Amiibo Festival, not so much. I am not joking when I say about 90% of the outcomes in Amiibo Festival is left entirely up to luck. Lose money, gain happy points, earning special cards, all chance. The biggest area of control a player has during the game is with the turnip stock market. Every Saturday, players choose how many turnips to buy, and every space in the game has a different value to sell them back for, so you have to decide when it's best to sell. Besides that, the only other control you have is deciding which route to take when the path splits, and deciding when to use a card that moves you a certain amount of spaces. I was convinced that this mode's saving grace would be special events that occur throughout the game, such as the fishing tourney. Surely these would have an element of interaction similar to a minigame, right? Nope. Roll a dice, space determines what fish you catch. Now, I'll admit this mode oozes charm, and some of the event descriptions are pretty funny, especially if you play Animal Crossing. But it's still mind-boggling the approach they took with this. I mean, look at this! What the hell justified that particular space rewarding 90,000 bells? Charm and humor is the only thing this mode has going for it, and even then, you'll only be able to appreciate those aspects as an Animal Crossing fan. But there are numerous mini-games separate from this mode. Can they save this game? First up is Balloon Island. It's a multiplayer minigame where at your turn you hold a random amiibo card against the gamepad. That animal will appear held up by balloons. When you pull the card away, the animal drops, bounces around Plinko style, and you gain points based on where it lands. And yeah, that's it. There's 3 rounds and it can be played in about 5 minutes. It's incredibly simple and it gets old quick. Next up is Resetti Bob. If you thought that last game was simple, get ready. This is a single player only game where you scan any random 3 amiibo cards. Each of the animals represents either rock, paper, or scissors. When a Resetti rises up, quickly press the card against the gamepad that beats that hand. And yeah, once again, that's it. There's literally just 1 round of this. It's somehow simpler than the last game. Now we have Acorn Chase. Here's one I mildly enjoyed. It's another single player game. Scan any random 3 amiibo cards to form a line of 3 animals. You have to collect all the acorns on the map, then guide the animals to the exit. However, each animal represents a direction, and there's a mower chasing you. Having the pressure of moving quickly makes you fumble with the cards in your hand, and it's kind of fun trying to quickly shuffle for the right one. This is an example where the physical element of the amiibo is better here than typical button inputs. Too bad there's only 3 rounds, and it's over. This could have easily been a good one. Now here's one called Fruit Path. It's a multiplayer game up to 4 players. On your turn, scan any amiibo card of your choice. Each card has a die number on it, and you move forward that many spaces collecting any fruit on the way. But you never know when you'll fall into a pitfall, so being greedy might work against you. After 3 rounds, the player with the most fruit wins. I think this might be my most hated one, because I mean really, you're just using the interaction with amiibo cards as a way to hide the fact that this is basically once again a game of chance. Mystery Campers is a single-player game where you choose 6 animals to participate, but only 4 will go into a tent without you seeing. You scan the card of the amiibo corresponding to the tent you believe it's in, and you get hints based on your guesses. For example, maybe 2 choices were right, but 1 was close. And they don't tell you which ones were right and close, though. So you have 10 rounds to try different combinations and work down to the answer. I enjoyed puzzles like this, so I was able to enjoy it a couple of times, but it's always the same thing, so once again, it got old quick. The quiz game really boggles my mind. It's basically an Animal Crossing quiz show for up to 4 players, but some of the questions are ridiculously hard, even for Animal Crossing fans. And if you don't play Animal Crossing religiously, this mode is basically unplayable for you. A party game should never alienate a player just because they're unfamiliar to the series, so I don't know what they were thinking with this one. I saved the better ones for last. First is a game called Amiibo Card Battle. It's not exciting, but it's at least a mode that makes good use of the Amiibo cards. You choose 6 Amiibo cards to play the game with. Each has a die number, but also an astrological sign. Players take turns secretly playing a card, wanting to be the higher number, but if a player matches a card with the astrological sign in play, then a lower number wins. It's also important to note that a player can't play a card again that they played in a previous round, so there's a little element of strategy here. Like I said, it's not very exciting or great, but at least strategy is involved, and it's a mode where the Amiibo cards feel appropriate and needed. Finally is this entire game's saving grace. Desert Island Escape is a surprisingly deep single-player strategy game where you're trying to get 3 animals of your choice off an island. You have to build tools for survival, keep track of food to keep your team going, and find the materials needed to build a raft to escape. Every animal has a special skill, like cats being able to fish without a fishing rod, so it's fun to try playing this with a different team every time. There's also 30 different stages in increasing difficulty, and a score system making replaying levels for a higher score fun. Why does this mode have so much depth? I'm not complaining, but it's so randomly out of place. This is by far the best part about this game, but it's still just one mode. So that's everything this game has to offer. Mario Party usually has about 70 different minigames. Imagine 8 of those minigames being advertised as modes instead, and that's basically what it feels like playing these, Desert Island Escape being the one exception. This game as a whole is simply lazy and boring, but the biggest issue I have with it is this. It's called Amiibo Festival, but 90% of this game could have been possible without Amiibo. Amiibo Card Battle and Acorn Chase are the only games where the physical element of the Amiibo cards assist in the enjoyment. It's very clear that this game only exists as a way to sell Amiibo, and that is a very not Nintendo-like move. I've always had so much respect for the company due to the fact they've always cared about the quality of games they've put out. This is one of the few times where this is clearly not the case. Now to be fair, there is some other features in the main board game mode. You can use Amiibo cards to move animals into the village or even build public work projects just like in New Leaf to make the board your own. But this still has very minimal effect on the gameplay and doesn't change the glaring issues plaguing the game. It's undeniably charming and even has a good sense of humor, but at the end of the day we have an HD TV version of Candyland with an Animal Crossing coat of paint. The other modes could have saved this game, but only one is truly worth playing. But at least the Amiibo are really cute! With all this in mind, World 9 gives Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival 5 bits out of 10. Nintendo, your fans deserve better than this.